Swiggity swoopty, I'm coming for that clown painted booty. It's the Going Off podcast with RC and Muse. And before we get started with the festivities, on my Patreon, if you support me and, the support goes up and up and up and gets to the 650 mark, I can start doing the best of blank year, starting all the way back in 1989 when the rap charts officially started. If people like the idea, I'll start doing, the next year and the next year. If there's even enough support, I'll start doing the worst of, 1989 and so on and so forth, depending on how the support goes. So, as well as twitch.tv/rapcritical, where I do my live streams where we go through the Billboard Top 100 joints, as well as do live stream album or best of artist requests that you can do on kofi.com/rapcritic, which is just my specific one.
There's a new Muse Reviews video, and it's the first one in about 5 years, a review of Ava Max's The Motto. Riff Comms, Riff Break, those are going to try to be on a weekly, bi-weekly schedule like I've been doing. But for these scripted reviews, I want to base them on something I actually have emotional investment in.
I totally get that. Yeah.
Because, back in the day, it was like, oh, what song am I going to do? Yeah, I could probably think of a joke for that. And then I would just, knock it out, almost out of obligation. But now, what I really want to do is there's a couple real big videos I want to make. You know about one of them. The other one I haven't really said anything about yet. They're going to be almost like video essays. They're going to be longer form, bigger than I've made in the past. But with that said, yeah, they're not going to be coming out weekly. I don't know when they're going to come out. So just kind of letting people know to look out for them, really. And we've also got the Riffcoms Fan House. That is fanhouse.app/riffcoms. You can subscribe for $5 a month. And I've been posting 2 exclusive Kids Bop live reaction videos. I just put the playlist on shuffle of all 700 songs. Whenever one comes up, I'm listening to it. I'm giving you my raw reactions, my first impressions to it, and I'm going to go through all of them. So you can join me on that journey. $5 a month, Riffcoms on Fanhouse. That's fanhouse.app/riffcoms. RC, we didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen. I just figured we were going to have to wait till 2023, sit on our hands till then. But the Grammys came through.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Music's biggest night!
The trumpet's a little out of key.
Mike the Snare did a video on have the Grammys changed since last year he made the the Grammys matter? No
right. Yeah.
video.
Uh-huh.
And he basically wanted to reevaluate it and say, hey, has anything changed in the process? Last year, the show, as Mike pointed out in his video, which I do suggest you watch if you haven't, I don't want to give too much of it away, but he basically pointed out that the whole thing was basically nonstop wall-to-wall performances. There were stages everywhere. So basically, one performer would get finished and another one would almost immediately start up. It was just like, bang, 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 here's the music of the year. And as long as I've been watching the Grammys, it's almost a given that the show is essentially performances, and every single award, except for record, song, album, maybe best rock album, best country, best rap song and album or whatever, they're usually either on the red carpet pre-show, and you find them out online. You actually have to seek them out, and you only get 5 televised awards. This year couldn't have been more different. And I hated it.
Yeah, okay. It wasn't just me. It was just skipping through the shit and being like, is there going to be a performance? What's going on?
So, I think the Grammys have conceded to the fact that they don't matter. In the grand scheme, they're not entertaining.
Oh man,
is the thing.
Yeah, it was such a weird thing, but it's like music. It's such a weird thing where it's just I'm just watching this thing where it's just wow, never before has an illustrious Hollywood night just looked like the local, award show that you give to people best local play, It
seriously felt like you walked into town hall and they were just giving out, essentially like, oh, who's got the best, like when cities have like best restaurant.
Right.
Oh, here's the best best
Encore magazines. Yeah.
I want to give them credit for showing their respect and like letting everyone be recognized, and that's really cool because a lot of people don't get the recognition and the public, like, the chance to give like a little thank you speech, which is always nice. After the first performance, which I gotta talk about here in a second, we went 50 minutes before the next performance.
Okay, so I'm not crazy. I was like, did I miss something? Am I missing
No.
Are they doing like fucking Tierra Whack minute-long performances? It's like, okay, we gotta skip to that song. You know that one.
I'm not trying to shit on anyone's accomplishments here, but when I saw them giving out the award for Best Album Notes on TV, have you accepted the fact that no one gives a fuck and no one's gonna watch, so why even try? The show on YouTube starts, completely dead silent audience. The most whiplash I got from this band breaking into Dance to the Music by Sly and the Family Stone. And I was like, oh, okay. Guess we're just going for it.
Yeah.
And out walk the whitest fucking 4 boomers you've ever seen. And they're apparently nominated for Best, like, Roots Gospel Album? And I'm sitting there like, oh no. They're gonna sing Dance to the Music? These 4 fucking crusty white folks are gonna sing Dance to the fucking Music? And they're up there, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, I'm cringing to death. And it just continues like nothing's weird about this. And then more people come out. You got a couple more folks. You got John fucking Popper of Blues Traveler representing the band as they were nominated for Best Traditional Blues Album. No, they did not win. Like, they tried to get so many people out there. Like, hey, we got this woman who has been nominated for Best Kids Album. We got this person over here who's been nominated for Best Jazz Album. You've got this pasty white woman who's nominated for Folk Album out here looking like she's reading the lyrics straight off a fucking cue card, singing Sly and the Family Stone. The audience seemed completely taken aback by this. Like, when the camera would pan them, they were, like, applauding awkwardly. No one seemed to be genuinely enjoying this. And, hey, we're gonna get all the nominees out there to sing Dance to the Music felt like such a first idea someone had.
Right, his first draft, yeah. Oh, how about we actually get everyone to dance to the music? They'll be feeling the music, it'll be so good.
They brought out LeVar Burton.
Yeah.
Who I guess was like the host or the MC of the night. And he gives the audience the rules on TV.
Yeah. And
after saying, we've got 75 awards to give out, so be snappy about it, and proceeds to talk for like 5 fucking minutes, giving instructions that could have easily have been given off air before the show started.
It's like they're still in the middle of planning the show, and then it's like, just to let everyone know, we only got 1 minute and da-da-da-da-da.
Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, come on, that sucked. All right?
He genuinely wanted crowd response and reaction to everything he said.
Like,
so when it got like
was reading Rainbow, like the people, again, first draft idea. Like, they're like, I know, we'll play on people's nostalgia. They'll, interactive kid shows, they'll just go along with them,
I think it would be in our best interest to lead with Animal Collective.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get to gazing at our shoes.
Who requested this? I missed it.
Dr. Goin, once again, back up in this thing.
Thank you, Dr. Goatman.
Once again.
Coming through as always.
Throwing us. Man, these curveballs.
Yeah, see, I really wanted to lead with Merriweather Post Pavilion by Animal Collective, with the album cover that always hurts my eyes and head when I look at it.
For me, I can't stop looking at it.
It's mesmerizing. I love it. So I've only listened to a little bit of Animal Collective in passing, and they kind of have a reputation of just kind of like generally being kind of weird.
Yeah, am I confusing this with the heat wave's been freaking me on? The Glass Animals.
Glass Animals.
So this is a different
considerably
techno rock
less interesting
trip-hop,
than Animal Collective.
You know?
I am over Glass Animals, my dude. No, thank you. So my expectations were set to, okay, this is probably going to be a little weird. And it wasn't as weird as I thought it was going to be.
No.
Mainly because this album is about being a dad, which I didn't know going in.
It's like if Simon and Garfunkel and the Beach Boys' weird cousins got them into weird synthesizers, and it's like, but this is like what they would have made, you know what I mean? Like,
I was most interested in the music of the album, and I really like the singing. I think the lyrics for me are probably the weakest aspect of it.
Certainly. Yeah, I like...
In just that it's very repetitive, and some songs I'm willing to kind of look the other way about that because it just sounds so good that I don't really care.
Right. When the melodies are coming out really nice and it sounds so floored and well put together, yeah.
I did rank this album very highly because I did enjoy myself. I think following along very closely with the lyrics hurt my experience, and I think if I was just listening to it in passing, I think I would have enjoyed it more.
Yeah, I feel like I enjoyed it more the first time. You know, just allowing the psychedelia to like unfold, you know, like that experience was like, so that's why I think I'd really recommend it as well, right? Like it is really washes over your brain the first time you hear it, you know?
What are your favorite cuts?
Let me see. I think I liked My Girls just because, like, the freaking hook was just so fucking, like, catchy. Like, and the lively production, the percussion underneath it. Like, for as, like, you know, wavy and, like, droned out and echoey as, like, everything else sounds, the drums, like, while they still have a bit of, like, splash in, like, you know, sound echoiness to them, it feels like it's in a different way, where it feels like that's cutting through the malaise feel of the rest of the production in a lot of ways. So yeah, that just kept like getting to me, especially in My Girls, where he said like, you know the part where it's like, I don't mean to seem like I care about material things, like social status. I just want more walls and Adobe slats for my girls. Like that just sounded like the fucking hook for some reason. Like I was just like, yeah. I can't even tell if this is the hook or not because this shit is going in so many places, but like
it all just kind of flows. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell where the chorus is supposed to be.
Yeah. What else I like? I like Summertime Clothes with that fun, really rolling melody and that musical feel to it. I liked Guy's Eyes just for how weird it was. Like for the rest of this album being so like, you don't know when the chorus is happening, this is that verse, and we're just kind of going here and like following there. And then to get to this point where it's like purely like, you know, the DJ of the group or whatever is like mixing around the vocals and like really mixing it around like the fucking like that song Just Like Music with Eric Sermon featuring Marvin Gaye, you know, where it's like you can really hear where it's like, oh, there is no verse, chorus, like there's no structure to this. It's just all of these different like, you know, melodies that they did just kind of like flowing around and over each other. And like there's two different points where like it seems like they kind of get caught in a loop where it's like something where it's like need her, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's very interesting how it's like, even though it's formless, there's still a weird structure that kind of comes out of it at certain points that like ties like, oh, this part is the little, you know, bridge part before we get to this extra weird part over here. So like that just kind of like pulled my ear in a really interesting way. And then I think I really liked No More Running, but everything other than that, I remember feeling like okay to a little bit lackluster, I can't lie, as I'm like looking through some of it. But like it's a satisfying enough like solid experience, you know what I'm saying? Like but I do feel like, yeah, if we're talking about like does everything stand out, I don't necessarily know if I can say that, but I definitely feel like it is like a solid listen for sure. What say you?
You know, it's funny. Let's go ahead and lead with the first one you had mentioned, My Girls. That actually got the lowest rating from me.
Oh, you weren't digging that one.
It wasn't, I didn't dislike it, but I was listening to it, and I noticed it was by far the most streamed song on the album. Like, this is the fucking breakthrough. Like, this had like
you post on Instagram with my girls, you know, like...
It had like 40 million streams or something crazy like that, and all the other ones only had like 6 or 7 or something like that. Dang. Like, this was far and away the most popular, and I'm just kind of sitting there like, okay. Like, I didn't think it was that great. Like, I liked it, but it was just way more repetitive than I think I was looking for.
Yeah, I guess
my favorite cuts on the album were Summertime Clothes. Got to agree with you on that one. Bluish.
Okay, yeah.
I really liked Bluish, and I really liked Lying in a Coma. Those were my 3 favorites.
That was such a weird one. I didn't know how to feel about it.
The songs about his family and about his kids, those are all well and good, all right? But the songs about, like, Summertime Clothes, that's just about, like, a summertime romance and, like, the simple pleasures in life and stuff like that.
It's a feel-good song.
and then, like, Bluish is almost like a sexy song, and I didn't expect that. And then Lying in a Coma is seriously just like being in a... Like, the songs that stood out and that were about something different were the ones that I really, really enjoyed.
I get you on
because the other ones, the lyrics, if they're just about how much you love your kids and how much you wish your kids turn out like you, like... Yeah, that's great, but...
Norman Rockwell shit, like,
yeah, I'm not exactly particularly interested in it, and they're not the ones I'm going to be, listening to again, but Lying in a Coma, just, like, trying to, like, snap yourself out of a fucking coma, like, wow, who else is doing that? And, like, the ones that really stood out are the ones that ended up impressing me the most, especially... And I wrote down, I'm not even quoting any of this, talking about Lying in a Coma, because I wouldn't be able to read it back with the right cadence anyway. They do this really weird thing with some of these songs, and again, they tend to be the ones I like more, where they don't follow a specific flow.
Right.
The words just kind of, they go, and they lag, and then right at the very end, like... They run really fast to catch up, so it's like they're all crammed at the end, but not every line, only some lines. The ones that keep me on my toes tend to be the ones that I enjoyed more.
The highest I was scoring the songs that I like, and it was all of the songs that I like, and there was a lot of them, was like a 4, most of it, right? Like, I felt like a lot of these, like, they're really good, but... It's always like, and 4 is not bad, right? Like 4 is a solid joint, but it just like nothing ever feels like, oh my god, you gotta hear this one, fucking stop the fucking album, gotta throw it over. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
those 3. I said I gave 5s, but most of the album I gave 4s. I gave a 4.5 to. The last track, Brother Sport, I really liked that one.
I thought that one was okay. I like the Brazilian sort of percussion with the whistles sort of feeling was like a welcome change for sure.
Also Frightened, Daily Routine. Okay,
yeah.
Guy's Eyes, Taste, No More Running. I gave all those 4s.
Yeah. Those I gave 4s. And Bluish, I really enjoyed that one. I wrote down like it has a Sugar by the Archies sort of feel to it. I don't know if you got that. Oh shit,
okay.
Right? You know what I'm talking about as soon as I say it though, right?
I popped hearing the electric organ on Daily Routine.
Oh my god, okay, so yeah, that was a really good fucking moment, and how you heard like the little switches being flipped as the organ's responding to it, and then going faster and faster. I was like, yo, the dude's getting this fucking Daft Punk machine fucking chugging on as the joint came in. I was like, okay. So, now that's what I think I did enjoy about this, like the experimental funness of the album, where like the experimentalness didn't feel for lack of a better word, like math rocky, where it was just like, you have to be in the weeds of knowing nerd. Like, it felt fun in the moments where it was happening. So, like, the experimentation, like, was falling, like, that was the fun of a lot of part of it, right? Like, how it's moving into these weird, unconventional things. It doesn't feel try-hard experimental. It feels just like, oh, wow, that's just a fun little flip there. Okay, Like, and, so it's like these flourishes that make, like, moments stand out in the terms of how you expect a song to sort of flow. But, yeah, you're right, like, just the shoegaze genre can just kind of get into a general malaise sometimes where it can feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, what is this like?
I walked away with a 4.
You know, I gave it a 4 too.
Oh shit!
Yeah, right. Like, even though I'm like, I feel like I'm like picking a little bit, but I'm like, I can't act like it's not. I still said like, no, it still sounded like Lizard. It's just like, you know, I don't know, like. Yeah,
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Was I coming off a little too negative, Nancy?
A little. I was honestly expecting you to say like maybe a 3 or something like that. But okay, 4. All right.
Yeah. But
that's cool.
It was a little bit too middling at points where things can get a little blandinized. But like, you know. All right, getting on to our next request. Thank you to Melvin Shaman for your request for Cracked Tiles by Zug Izland. Now, Muse, do you know who Zug Izland is?
No, I don't. I don't want to. Okay, so
here we go.
Look, I am not a juggalo, right? I don't think I could possibly be confused for one per se.
You're not down with the clown and you're down for life, yo?
I've been known on occasion to be down with the clown to some extent.
To some degree.
It depends on the day, you know.
Mood
An ICP here and there, sure. But on the show in the past, we've talked about Twisted. Haven't necessarily been a fan of Twisted. I've listened to a little bit of Anybody Killer.
Right.
Not necessarily a big fan of Anybody Killer.
I like the Dark Lotus song that they did past the Axe, where it was like a bunch of them doing 8-bar verses really quick. That was a really good one.
Yes. I'm looking down the requests. Melvin's requested a Boondocks album.
Oh.
I hate to spoil it. Not a fan of Boondocks either. That's going to be a fun one.
Coming down. Whatever
On the cemetery mound. That's on that album. We got that to look forward to. Spoilers. Anyway, Zug Izland, though, that's a name. I was going to do the meme. I haven't heard in a long time. But no, I've never heard of Zug Izland. This is from 2001.
Oh, 2003, right?
I thought it was 2001. Is it 2003?
Actually, release date is January 28th, 2003.
Okay, that's fine. Honestly, doesn't make that big of a difference. It's still Psychopathic's attempt at, like, mainstream angry white boy hard rock. Like, this is like Psychopathic's attempt at a Papa Roach.
And can I tell you, I don't all the way hate it.
Oh, fuck off. No. I hated this album so much. And it's honestly because of Sin's god-awful voice. He sounds like shit.
It becomes so cornball, like, oh my lord. Where it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, you're doing Creed, you're doing Korn. Oh, he slipped into Creed.
I was just gonna say, you are not wrong with Creed, my dude. It's definitely there.
It was just like, oh my god, are you really singing it like that? Stop it. Like, it's so like the Hard Rock Kids version of what they think hard rock said. You're singing like this with the affectation. And it's just like, dude, stop. Oh no. Like, if they would have leaned into it a little bit more, it could have fallen all the way over into like unabashedly me enjoying it. But unfortunately, yeah, like it still has those elements of just like, what are you doing?
There are albums where I'll be taking the notes, right? And I'll be sitting on the couch, and Neb will be sitting on the couch, and they'll look over, and they'll look at me, and they'll say, "You okay? Everything all right?" And I'll just have to be like, "Yeah, listening to blah blah," and they're like, "Oh, I'm okay." And like when you can just tell by my face the time I'm having and how upset an album is making me, this was one of those.
Oh damn! No love from you.
They clearly had so little faith in Zug Izland that ICP is all over this thing.
That was
and
my
honestly,
thing.
that's the only time this album is remotely enjoyable for me is when ICP are on a track. Because when it's just Zug Izland, when it's just Sin singing by himself, oh boy, the cracks, they show so bad.
I thought this was a Violent J side project or something like that, where it was
And
like
he has a side project. Dude, if someone would request Wizard of the Hood, I think it's called, where it's like the theme album about like Wizard of Oz, but it's a Violent J solo project. If someone wants to request that or something, maybe not a Shaggy side project.
No,
but
fuck the fuck off. Yeah, no.
But
not that
Violent
album.
J? Yeah. I'm here for Violent J. So when he pops up on a song, it's like, oh shit, okay.
I was thinking, it was like, so I thought it was like, oh, is this like his just hard rock, like new metal? Oh, this is me striking it out, because he shows up so fucking much. But then it's like, oh wait, no, now I'm just hearing this guy. Hey, you tricked me.
Who the fuck is that?
Yeah, who is this guy over singing? The production around it is grimy and gritty in a way where like it matches it sometimes, but then there's those other times where it just, you didn't like do enough to couch this in the noise, like to make it really fit. So now your awkward ass voice is over emoting this shit. You know what I mean? But now I want to go back to the intro, which I thought was interesting because I had always, this is one of those things where I was just like, oh my god, I'd always heard this at the beginning of this music video for Under the Moon by Insane Clown Posse, that it was like a fan video. Did you ever see this one?
No, I don't think I have. There's a fan video you saw?
Yeah, for Under the Moon. Here, I'll send you the link again on Twitter. Now, I still don't know what they're saying because unfortunately a lot of the lyrics aren't on the Genius. So when he says, welcome to the... I still don't know what they're saying there.
Oh.
Yeah, so now I'm even still pissed. There's still another half of this puzzle that I haven't cracked, as well as a whole bunch of these other songs where they'll be saying something at the end where it's just like, well, clearly someone wrote this down because it's very prominently said. What did they say now? And then you go to Genius and it's like, oh, they just... Nobody put, really? You put this, but you couldn't put what?
Dude, when we fucking did that, it was just last week, the Foosh Nakeds album, right?
Yeah.
And there was a song where, it's like, oh, well, they're all talking to this girl, and she's, like, super sexualized. And at the end of the song, he's like, hey, she slipped me your number, and I called it, but guess who answered? And they're like, oh, who? And there's, like, a minute goes by of people just going, no, who is it? Who is it?
And it starts to build up, like...
It's Mr. Chica! And everyone is like, whoa, no way!
I couldn't believe that guy we all know. And it's like, what? Who?
What? What? It's like when you talked about it on the show, I was like, I didn't remember it when I was listening to it the first time taking the notes. So I was like, no, okay, everyone step aside. I'll give it a listen. I'm sure I'll be able to decipher this and make out what they're saying.
Your discerning ears.
And I was sitting there, and I listened to it, and I was like, rewound it, re-listened to it again, and no, it's just, but bringing it back to it, you're looking at on Genius, and it just says, but guess who picked up? And that's it. It doesn't say in the lyrics who picked up. So, it's like, you couldn't decipher that either? The intro that you have history with, that's interesting. I've never heard it before. Going into the first song here, which, let me check. Yes, it has my highest rating. Fire, featuring ICP. First note I have written down here is, well, okay. I thought the instrumental was cool. I dug the intensity of the vocals on this. Lyrics are a little scuffed.
Some of them are kind of cool, but like you can tell he had an idea and like had that part and then didn't like fill out the rest of what it was. Cause like, oh no, excuse me, it's Sunny Day that I'm thinking of. That's what I actually really like, the next one.
Oh, God, no.
But cause that's the one where he says like, he's saying like, I'll stand far away. And in the background, it's like, I have so many flaws. I wouldn't want to dull your sunny day. Like,
oof, I hated that.
But I feel like they do pathetic very well, right? Like, I feel like Insane Clown Posse, you know what I'm saying? When it's like,
comes natural.
You know, it's that new metal, like, feel though, right? Like, I'm a loser, I fucking suck. Like, that's what a lot of Limp Bizkit was, right? Like, I'm a chump, you know, like, it really was like getting out a lot of that male angst of like, oh my God, I suck, even though it's saying it in this dude bro thing that feels like it's like, headstrong, but take you up, you know? But if you listen to the lyrics, it's all about their insecurity, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in the lyric on here, there's one lyric that I thought was like kind of interesting, just that they threw it out there. It was like, I will follow you cause you're a winner. You know, I will crawl out on my knees. Your aura, it glows like toxic waste. It's like, you know, it's like, I have so many flaws. Spit and I would lick it just to taste your presence. Like, it's just so gross, like willing to go there that it's like, I gotta give it the point. And then with the you. I mean, again, don't pay attention to the lyrics because it's just like, just you, all you.
Yeah.
I definitely needed another pass on some of these lyrics, but like, I dug it enough to see where it was going. You know what I'm saying?
We gotta backtrack for a second because Violent J kills his fucking rap verse.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Yeah, what? I couldn't even tell. Like, it just felt like a epileptic seizure of a verse happening, where it's just like dun, 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 dun. Like it's like Ghostface Killer rivaling levels of just like freeform association with how he was just flowing on the shit. And I was just like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah, honestly, Violent J's verse on that first song probably is why it is the highest rated, because I think if it wasn't for that, I'd probably be lukewarm to mild on it. But it is a big drop off for from Fire to Sunny Day. And again, let me check. Hold on. Oh, well, okay. I have 3 zeros. The first one is Prison Song. That's
you weren't feeling Prison Song, eh? I like the outlaw rock sort of country feel that was going, especially with the intro and how they had like Violent J introducing it like, hey boys, you know, like where he's being the intro. I like it when a song sets you in a world.
The intro is interesting, and the concept is interesting. The singing is fucking unbearable.
Yeah.
I would never listen to this.
Very fucking repetitive. I can recall it. Like, that kind of happened a bit too much.
I have written down that this sounds like a rejected Puddle of Mud song.
Oh, no. As soon as he's saying, I can't even. Like,
oh, no. It's just like, yeah, okay. This one guy is like behaving well, I guess. Like, I was expecting maybe like that person to be like at the end, like not even the end.
Start a prison riot or something at the end. Or
start a riot, or like Violent J like bursts in, like, okay, that's enough. Like a couple, like as a skit, I thought this would have worked. Is what I'm actually realizing now.
Yeah,
if
it was just a song. Yeah.
Like, there's a bit on an ICP album, I forget which one it is, but it's like ICP are like at a poetry class.
Beautiful butterfly came floating by and landed on my cheek just a smidget from my eye. I said to my little friend, "Get the fuck off me, bug!"
But yeah, it gets too serious for how ridiculous the song actually is, because the whole point is that it's like, oh, you know, the song is about him like being cheated on and the lovelorn, you know, that sort of thing, right? Like, a bad-hearted woman done did me wrong, you know, like, but like the whole point is that it's a Johnny Cash song, but take it all the way to the extreme, right? Like, I can recall it, like when the love was gone, I can recall it, like all, you know, like the night that I killed her, basically, but just saying like, you know, I'm not here to make amends. Turn back time and I kill her again. It's what I call a justifiable. Like, I like how it like does just like go all the way in, right? With the big like, no, I am that monster and I don't give a fuck.
If he didn't sound like absolute dog shit, I probably would have been able to appreciate it. But he just sounds so fucking bad. Like, incredibly bad. One of the worst vocals I've heard in rock. Like, absolutely hands down. Unbearable.
And then Fly Away. What a flip. What? It's so... Let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something. When this track started, I was like, huh? Whoa. Immediately feel like we're being transported to this other world, hearing these like percussion drums like sounding like world music or something like that. Then it was starting with these descriptive Violent J lyrics. I'm like, oh my God, like where are we going? It's like Miracles if it didn't sound stupid. Like, oh my God, like
it definitely did remind me of Miracles, yeah.
It was like the freeform associated to talk about climbing mountains and you know what I'm saying, all this sort of thing. And then we get to the hook, and it's so like, oh, stop. Because it's like, sounds so cool and so like, whoa, you're transporting me to this blue, cool other world. And then the lyrics, wait, let me see if I can fucking find them. Everybody come and fly away. You must believe that you can fly away. And then Violent J in the background, like, come on, everybody, fly away. Like, it sounds like a fucking, I feel like, where someone's passing the collection plate around. Like, this is a song they play right before pass the collection plate around at the ICP New Revival Tree of Life Church. You know, like, the way the song sounded, I was just like, oh my God, stop. Like, when Insane Clown Posse try to sound like positive music, it always comes off like brainwashy and like, you know what I mean? Like the uncool church that thinks that they're cool just because they got a pastor who has like a tattoo and plays guitar, you know? Like, it's like Pearl Jam by way of hair metal still, you know? Because
yeah,
it's still too over the top. Like, it's so insane. Yeah, it's like butt rock, like the cheap man's Pearl Jam, but still hitting that AM radio cheesy hair rock shit. Like, there's a level of, if you hit that pitch, you can like bring it over where it's like, where it doesn't feel like I'm just looking at this guy and going like, what is this asshole doing as he's singing this? Does he really think? But when you can really make it like, oh no, I'm with you on the way. When you can hit the Biz Markie ratio, basically, right? Where it's
yeah,
like,
sure.
You know and I know that this doesn't sound great, but that's not the point, my friend. You know, like that sort of thing, right? You gotta dip over from what the hell does this guy think he's doing into, oh my God, I can't believe he's doing this, right? Like,
once you realize he's in on the joke and not being like serious, then it kind of goes into the camp territory.
But then we get a song like, and forgive me folks for those.
Oh yeah, let's give a content warning that for a few times for the rest of the album, self-harm and suicidal topics do come up.
And to what fucking end? Like,
not even worth bringing up. Like, all I have written down is real weak sauce for track number 5, Suicide. Just, why is it even here?
The concept of the song is like, hey, murderers and people doing bad stuff, before you do bad stuff, how about you kill yourself? Yeah. It's just like, huh?
Okay.
Like, it's so like it feels like by them saying words like, oh, you know, it's a really hard rockin' new metal song, right? And they're saying stuff like, hey, killer, like, you're thinking maybe the point is that they're being subversive, right? Where it's like, oh, the song that sounds like it's gonna be like hard rockin' mean is actually saying that the people who are bad should get their comeuppance, but it's just so like just awkwardly done that it's just like, what? Like, it's just like trying to punk you with the soft edge that the topic actually is, you know, of being like, actually, we're saying that the bad guys should suffer. Yeah. And it's like, wait, weren't 3 songs ago you're saying like, oh, I'd kill that chick again, and, you know, like talking about like, you know, the morality
that's a good point.
of ICP just it was like, wait, so is it justifiable homicide in you know, lust and love, but now it's like, how dare anyone ever commit a bad crime? They should suffer. And it's like, wait, but I thought we were thinking about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Dreams is very boring.
I wrote, well, I'd rather listen to this than a full Creed album.
It was at this point that I realized what this was and what this was like. Psychopathic's dirty alternative, like,
oh, sure.
Hey man, if you like this stuff that's on the radio but you want something with a little harder of an edge, come over here.
Yeah, clown painted edge to it.
Yeah, I've honestly got nothing on that one.
Oh man, just the way it ends.
Same with The River.
Wait, no, we gotta talk about how the intro goes into it. We hear this beautiful piano, like, at the end of the Dreams track, and I was like, oh my God, this sounds really fucking good. Like, Mikey Clark, like, doing this shit, like, holy shit. And then he like, ladies and gentlemen, we present to you the afterlife, beauty at its peak. All of this will be yours. unless you drinketh of the river. And the way these guys try to put old style poetry into their like, it's so awkward. Like,
yeah,
because then they go into the song The River, and like I get what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to go for this softer, like, you know, now this is a nice tranquil song. Ooh, but the irony is that the darkness is still kind of there. But it's like, yeah, like this is supposed to be, you know, ICP flapping with their angel wings, you know, with their cloud painted faces, you know what I'm saying? But the hook is so corny. It's like, I should never drinketh of the river, it's forbidden. Like the way they say it is just so like, oh my God, I can't vouch for this. Like I so want to be like, oh my God, but it's so corny. Do you hear? But it's just like, it's just so like falls flat. Yeah, it's just butt rock trying to be serious. Like you just hear it for what it is, you know, and it just, and then at the end, it's like after this really nice song, and then it's just like, also I like to blow holes into the heads of rednecks. And then it gets into small town. Tell me, if I was new around here and hitting on your daughter and took her to the creek and fucked her in the water, then she brought me home when I put on your robe, would you be mad enough to let your barrel explode? Basically saying like, oh, you know, you're good people, but are you cool with me doing like just awful shit? Like, you know, I don't have a problem with you small town folk. I like y'all. As soon as I flip this dope, I'm gonna open a titty bar next to the school. I'm glad we all neighbors, man. I think it's cool, you know? If I walked, this is one part that I actually did, like, if I walked in your church drunk out of my mind, would you still let me sip up on that red wine? And he's like, keep the bread. I thought that was actually pretty funny. And then it's like, if we played in your shitty town, would you help me pass these flyers around? Like, yeah, moments like that are like really funny, but it just feels like, yeah, like, so you're having this level of like, well, what is this about? Like, wait, is it okay? Are they aware of their being shitty? Like, because the hook is like, I think I like it here. Okay, I'll stay it. It's me fine, you know? But then it gets to that third verse where he's, oh yeah, it starts off, you hear someone saying like, you coming through town with your bumping bass bumble trucks and you're staring with the hand, get to work, da, da, da. Like, it just sounds like just a town about anger, you know? But then it gets to the third verse where Violent J is just going like, yo, what does he say? This is like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. Like, don't let my Southern love, baby. Don't doubt it. Don't let my record fool you. I'm all about it. I love fat rednecks who fuck they kids, beat they wife, and yet serve no bids. But then he goes on, only judge in town. He's also the cop. He's also the barber at the hair job shop. He the mayor, the clerk, and what I'm speaking shit. He the one fucking his kids and wife beating. And it's like, there ain't no law that's gonna punish itself. And that's why the carnival's bad for the health. And it's like, and so there's that level of like, oh my God, it feels like it's pulling back and being like, you know, all these small towns are like awful and fucking corrupted, like, you know what I'm saying, by nature of like how they fucking function and shit, and just like, holy shit. But then the way they end the verse, it's so corny where they're like, oh, you know, the hatchet man is gonna be the one who's gonna set things right around here. It's like, you know, so say hello to the new sheriff, Violent J, with one law, let there be juggaloism all day. It's just such a wet part of a thought to go out on. Oh, let there be juggaloism all day, like, so it has like a commentary about like, oh, all of this shit is fucked up. Maybe it's a screed about colonialism and how the sins of, you know, the others and how we encroach on others' territory. And we use, you know, the fact that, well, they committed sin, so it's okay for us to do this. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the cycle of violence. Like, that's where I think they're going. But then it's like, let there be juggaloism all day. And it's just like, what?
The one I have quoted that was like one of the weakest points, If I sold your son cocaine, would you put a bullet in my brain? If I stole your favorite car, would you cock the hammer back and be like pow? I bet you would. Boom. I was like, what? What the fuck? I thought Violent J's verse was like, for him, subpar. I've heard way better from him, especially in context like this. I thought he could have done way better.
True.
But yeah, it just came down to like Violent J hitting his usual bullet points and not really saying anything different or new. And I also thought the chorus was kind of annoying.
And oh my God. Well, oh my God. We're really hitting the bottom, ladies and gentlemen, because I literally wrote with this Always song.
Are you saying that Always is the bottom?
I literally wrote here, okay, we're in sub-Creed territory.
Okay, yeah, so I don't remember shit about anything but the instrumental. I have written down here positives about the instrumental, and that I like the guitar and the weird ringtone sounds that are like going on during the chorus. It's hard to explain. I don't remember what the lyrics were like or the vocals. I honestly.
You're my best friend. It's easy to see. No matter how bad things in life could be, you've always got me like this fucking 1980s television theme song lyrics. Like, what's going on? I thought this was the dangerous wicked shit. Yeah. Like,
I ain't about to give him points on any of that shit. I'm just amazed how sometimes the band itself can actually bring out like a pretty good instrumental, and
sure,
it could be used better, but it just has these awful lyrics on top of it. I have fucking god damn it, Hiroshima. Wow,
man,
this might be the worst one. This might be the worst one.
Yeah,
this is my second zero.
What I wrote down. Okay, here we go with the music. Oh, what?
Yeah, I have this whole bit written down because I think it's all important for the context.
Oh, go right ahead.
So this is Sin. This is your boy Sin. Only 16.
Oh man.
A hottie crossed the street, washing her daddy's car. She was toying with me. She came inside and promised wouldn't take long. She's about to swallow when my lady came home and caught me. Okay, anyway. Down on my knees, get ready, here she comes. I'm begging you, please, get ready. Hiroshima. Down on my knees, get... Then Shaggy 2 Dope comes in. She was bitching, mad, out of control. Like Hiroshima. I thought the bitch was gonna explode. Like here, what the fuck is this?
Fucking believe it.
This is beyond dog shit. Even ignoring the only 16. Everything else around it is as bad. Like, it's just badly written. Man, I don't get what the fuck they're trying to say with this.
I cheated on my girlfriend with a 16-year-old and she went off like Hiroshima. Women, am I right, fellas? Like, what? Like,
she lost control like Hiroshima. What?
What in the world?
How, like, well, what point did that come to you? Like, I just don't understand how you wrote this.
I got it. We got the perfect expression for how a chick just be going off. But the thing is, the two verses are so disproportional. So, because the first verse is about, I tried to bang a 16-year-old. My girlie went off like maybe a little warranted.
Yeah, you might be in the wrong here.
Yeah. But then the second verse is like, then I was smoking weed and my girlfriend went off like Hiroshima. Am I right? It's just like, that's not the...
That's not the
same. One is just like, okay, maybe she was a little annoyed at your preference for smoking weed in the house. Another is like, you're going to jail.
You're going to fucking jail. I'm flipping out. What are you doing?
It didn't even sound like they were in a private place washing her daddy's car outside. Like, what in the world?
Oh, they went inside, but she says it wasn't going to take long.
Oh my god.
So at least it's indoors, RC.
What is this scenario? What is this fucking porn star scenario he's setting up?
Yeah.
That hashtag that didn't fucking happen. By the way, there's a key change at the end.
Oh, was there?
It goes up. Yeah. I remember being like, what?
Damn it, and I love a good key change. I must have missed that.
That threw me off so much. Because, your boy, Violent J, comes back in with, honestly, oh man, casting pearls before swine on this fucking song. Because there's one part where he goes like, I like wrestling and she don't. And in the background he goes like, she don't like The Rock?
Yeah.
That's like a genuine moment, like, hey, now wait a minute. Yeah, The Rock does cross all boundaries.
That was a fucking, like, ICP moment that I was like, that personality shining through. It's like, man, you're making me want to listen to much better ICP shit, because none of that personality is on this album. But yeah, like, you don't like The Rock? Like, Bitch, don't fuck with Pangea. Brain, leave it alone.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Cry is another 0 for me.
Oh boy,
God
this is the
damn,
soft,
dude.
chill out corn song. This is the, on the soundtrack of those you know in the 2000s when you would get the soundtrack for something, but you would confuse it for the fucking the original music that was just the orchestral
The
shit,
film score.
Right, and you're like,
Yeah.
God damn it, I wanted the one with the heavy metal songs on it. No, not the fucking the hook wasn't too bad when the women came in. Like, and so it's like everything else was sucking ass. But then when the women come in, and I was like, have I heard this before? Because you hear like the cry, little sister, thou shalt not fall. I was like, oh, that doesn't sound too bad. But it's like everything else
Was that the sample?
Working. Huh?
Was that the sample?
Was that a sample of something? Or did I hear it at the end of something? I don't know.
Cry Little Sister is a song from the Lost Boys soundtrack.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so I guess the chorus maybe was sampled for the Zug Island song.
Lost Boys, you said.
Yeah.
Because maybe I heard that. Let me
It's possible. Wow, there's a bunch of cover versions. Eminem sampled the song.
On what? Wait, what did he sample it on?
You're Never Over from Recovery.
That's where I heard it, yeah.
Or you could have heard it on Lil B's Unchain Me from the album I'm Gay, parentheses, I'm Happy.
Get out of here.
So yeah, the song gets around, so it could have been from any number of places.
But the love that I gave it, it wasn't even owed to the band itself.
No.
Look at that.
Nope.
I fucking knew it. Thank you so much for looking at that shit. I fucking knew it.
But see, here, my favorite song on the album, Slam. And it's not even 2 minutes, which pissed me off.
Oh man! Yeah,
I was like, man, you almost had me.
But
then you had to ruin it.
Yeah, but the way the drum fills in at the beginning,
Yo.
like leading into it, feels like this action adventure music. Like, oh, that kind of hit. Yeah.
I hate how good the instrumentals can be. Because it's such a waste of talent.
Pearls before swine, this album.
But then we get the album's posse cut. We got Anybody Killa, Blazy Dead Homie, and Jamie Madrox of Twisted.
Yeah.
And they all sound like the same person.
The same person, yeah. Like
so they're all goddamn the same person. I ask them all if they want ice cream cone. They all say yes.
And the thing about it is, like, when I was listening to it, it was like, it actually, like, okay, so I think it was also with the Reanimation album that we listened to, where it's just like, it's new metal, like, soundtrack feel to it, like, I'm with that usually, right? Like, if this world of whatever sound that it is, maybe it just hits my nostalgia points, and I just like being, maybe I watched all these movies about cool people in clubs in 1999, and now that I'm an adult, I'm like, I associate that with, that's the cool club that I was supposed to be at, maybe that's it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, like, when the shit is consistent, I feel like I could enjoy it despite, like, okay, maybe those raps weren't so great, but, like, the overall product is so good that it's carrying it regardless, right? Like, there's differing factors that can make a song, that can lift a song up despite, like, whatever factors, blah, 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 right? Like, so when I listen to this song, I'm like, okay, like, I'm not necessarily paying, like, too much attention, and it just feels like it's about, like, oh, is this just about, like, dark, wicked shit? Like, but then, like, the final verse from Blaze Ya Dead Homie just felt so, like, I feel like we should have been done with this by now, though. Like, it just felt like there's like, we just gotta have another verse where it's just mindless shit. But yeah, like the other shit felt like it was at least like, fitting like the last track Devil's Night, you know what I'm saying, from D12's album, where it's just my God, this is just about like general chaos and madness, like Kiss the Dead on the red moon night, will they cry? Well, I think they just might, torturing frozen tear, this ain't hell, but I'd rather be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's giving you like, it feels like it's really painting a world. And then the last verse just feels so much like just the typical, like, wicked clown shtick of just like, I was running with a hatchet down the block. My leg got popped when I copped a dub at the dope spot. My leg, I was running down down the engine after all of that like cool ass imagery, like power drains as the dark becomes light, trapped motionless because the chords are too tight. Like after those lyrics of like, oh shit, we're going to like, you know, some epic shit. Like even if it's like not great, like, you know, you can still appreciate like where they're going. But then like, running down the street with a engine and then when I got shot when I was trying to buy some weed. Like what?
So I like the instrumental on Simplicity, which I think is like the only bit of the song I actually liked. But the end, we got to talk about the end.
What?
They leave on this little skit, right?
This half-finished skit.
It goes on for like 10 seconds. This guy's doing like this epic movie trailer voice,
right.
And he's basically doing like what ICP album intros sometimes sound like. Mm-hmm. Like they're presenting what the dark carnival is coming through town, and this is what, you know, this is what's in store for the town, and they're gonna lay judgment, you know, all that shit. But it goes nowhere, and it just feels like it's meandering and pointless.
Yeah.
And then the guy just goes, nah, this is stupid. And he just starts laughing, and it's like, because that's supposed to be the joke, that you realized it was bad.
Right.
Why you didn't have to include it?
So, like,
I didn't need it.
It feels like the joke is supposed to be like, oh, look at this pompous guy that's spouting these riddles. Like, well, what a jerk. That just sounds stupid. If we had someone just say that it sounds stupid, and it's just like...
It's like, but ICP does that.
Yeah, it's like you're deflating...
They do this.
You're deflating their own joke by, like, overly laughing at it, you know? Or it's just like, well, are you supposed to think this is cool? Because it already feels like you don't think this is cool and this is not working, you know? Like...
Yeah, I don't know what they were going for by doing that.
It just felt like a half-finished skit, and they were like halfway through, like, okay, what rides on a Zamboni but is only heard of at 3 a.m. in the morning? Like, they just started saying some cryptic sounding shit, and they like halfway through they were like, we didn't know we were going with this. Fucking, you know, like.
Like, honestly, at that point, I expect like a full apology, and not just for that, but for the whole album. I gave this a 1.5. Oh,
I gave it a 3.
No!
Purely because of the music. The music
no
at
fucking
points.
way.
I couldn't act like it wasn't hitting me at points, okay? Like, I'm not in a stone.
I was so certain you were going to rate this lower than I was. Oh my god! Wow!
Oh,
no, way too generous. Holy shit, way too generous.
RC the good cop this week.
Yeah, how about that?
And it's like, while I could definitely acknowledge all the corniness and cheesiness of this, like, I can imagine it's definitely gonna pop the charm bubble, but I can still be seeing it being there at certain points where I'm like, I still see what can be like gleaned from it, especially on the musical side of things at a lot of points. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, whatever you say. You are entitled to your opinion, my dude.
I'll hold it.
Yeah. That's cool. And you know, obviously, whoever Melvin, I think, you know.
Yeah, Melvin Shaman.
If this is your shit, you know, more power to you. That's fine. I don't get it. I absolutely don't get it, and I
think it's weird.
I couldn't disagree anymore. With that said, it's always fun to follow that up with. If there's an album that you would like to either torture us with or just hear our opinions on, head on over to our Ko-fi. That is ko-fi.com/goinoff. That is GOINOFF. And you can request an album to be reviewed on a future show. We won't be here next week, but we will return the week after that with probably 2 more requests, unless something interesting comes out. But we'll see. Yeah. We'll just have to play it by ear. But until then, for the Going Off podcast, I'm Muse.
And I'm the Rap Critic, and we be doing murder every day. We be good enough to get away. You wouldn't even know a wicked clown and hit the dough until your melon hit the flow and roll away.
It sounded like Girls by the Beastie Boys.
What?
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you gotta hit the hey, ba, 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 ba. It's like if ICP tried to write a parody, but a genuine, like, serious parody of a goof song with, like, actual lyrics.
Right.
The flow sounded like it anyway, I guess.
Yeah, no, I get that. No, I just love like just awkwardly starting with "we be doing murder every day," and then just have that awkwardly sitting out there as a phrase, like, do you? That's just what we be doing. That's the status quo. Doing murders every day, day. Everybody, every day. That's the motto.
Oh shit!
YOLO, and your low is about to end right now.
You're low? Please say you were still recording.
Yes, I am.
Your low is about... Oh, god damn it. That's way funnier than it should be.
No, that's entertainment. A well-placed pun.
God damn.